guys, so today I decided to use a little bit of a throwback deck. This is actually like one of the first decks I ever used in my YouTube videos, so yeah, it's a little fun fact if you guys are new to this channel. But anyways, today I'm going to show you guys a very cool looking trick, and this is what it looks like. So for this trick, I'm just going to need 2 helper cards. Let's use like the 2 red 2s, for example, just because, you know, nobody ever uses them in card tricks. So we have the 2 of hearts and the 2 of diamonds over here, and we can go ahead, set the 2 red 2s there on the table. So we have the rest of the deck over here, which I can shuffle up as much as a spectator would like me to. But anyways, if I had a spectator, I would go ahead, spread through the cards, and they would go ahead and pull out their favorite one. Let's say their favorite card is the King of Spades for no apparent reason. And I say, all right, cool. So we're going to use the King of Spades. Watch the King of Spades. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And just like that, you can see the King of Spades actually completely disappears from the entire deck. It is no longer in the deck of cards. Now remember, we have the 2 red 2s here on the table, but watch, they actually now have 1 card sandwiched in between them. Look, the 1 card, the card you picked, the King of Spades. That is the trick, guys, and now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So credit to this trick I would probably give to Dan and Dave, because I actually found this trick that they released, and it was like a 2-card transposition with like a card in between a pair on the table and then a card in the deck, and they switched places, and it was really, really cool. So I kind of just made a variation off of it where you just pick 1 card and it appears impossibly in between the pair on the table. So I'm going to teach you guys the trick that you just saw right now. So basically, I just pulled out any pair of cards that I wanted. So I just pulled out like the 2 red 2s. You guys can use like red aces, black jacks, honestly, whatever you guys want to do. And how I did the production, I just set it up like this. So I took the 2 red 2s, I placed the first one face up on the deck, and then the next one face down right on top of it, and then I performed a top shot production, which is actually sort of an advanced move, and I don't really think I'm that qualified to teach it because I'm not that good at it. But for now, if you guys want to do a cool production, you guys can do this one where you sort of get like a double lift ready, where you riffle up on the side and you feel 2 cards over here, and then you flip them over, and you can take your thumb and leave it there on the back, and then use your fingers here to sort of swivel this one down. And at full speed, it looks pretty cool if you go like this. Boom, that's like a cool sort of beginner production if you guys want to do that. Or you guys can just be like, all right, so here are the 2 red 2s. It honestly doesn't matter. So basically, once you've produced the 2 red 2s, you guys can go ahead. You're going to do this thing, which I kind of included just to be sort of like a magician fooler, because mostly in a sandwich trick, what happens is you have the 2 cards here, and you'd get a break underneath the selection or a card, and you would go like this, set the 2s on the table, and there would already be a card in between there. And all magicians know this to be true, but actually what you're doing in this part is you're just setting the 2 red 2s on the table with nothing in between them. Like, that's actually what you're doing in this trick. But I sort of included this as a little bit of a magician fooler, just to make them think that I'm loading a card in between the 2s, but in reality, I'm really not. All I do is I just hold the break there, so I'm separating the 2s from the deck, just so that it's easier to pick them up, and I can just go 2 of diamonds, 2 of hearts, and I just take the 2 red 2s here, and I set them on the table normally. So honestly, I'm not loading a card, I'm just putting the 2s on the table, and I'm leaving them as squared up as possible, just like this. So once you leave the 2s there on the table, you can flip over the deck, show off all the cards, all the faces, and you can go ahead, give the deck a quick shuffle if the spectator wants you to. You can even have the spectator shuffle the deck. This part is completely impromptu. So all you have them do is you have them pick out their favorite card. Let's say they like the 4 of clubs, for example. They can pick out any card, it really doesn't matter. Now this next part, what I did was actually a Cardini change. So what that is I'm basically using my pinky here on my left hand to quickly just pull a card down just like this, and I'm using my hand to cover this motion over here. So I'm basically just pulling the card away like this, but really fast. Boom, it looks like the card disappears. So basically, from an exposed view, it would look something like this, and then I pull the card down underneath, and I make sure to flip it over, so now the card is actually face down, just like this. If you guys do want a more in-depth tutorial on the Cardini change, I have made one on my channel. So if you guys cannot do this move yet, I suggest you stop watching this video and go watch my Cardini change tutorial right now, so that you guys can get this move down, because this is actually an essential part of this trick. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do the Cardini change just like this, and you're going to do the change, and then you're going to use your fingers here to bring the card down underneath the deck, and when you square it up, it's actually going to end up face down, and it's going to end up the opposite direction of all the cards. So that's basically what happens when you do the Cardini change. The card gets flipped over on the bottom, just like this, and that's exactly what you want. So now you can go through the cards and you can show that the card is completely gone. Just make sure not to go through all the cards, because then you're going to expose that face down card, but just go through, you know, like the majority of the cards, like maybe to about there is good. You can leave like maybe 3 cards to spare. And now when you're done showing off the cards, you can square up the cards, and you're going to catch a pinky break right on top of that face down card. You're going to transfer this pinky break from your left hand, and you're actually going to transfer it to your right hand. Now, in the Dan and Dave trick, what they do is they actually do like a bottom palm just like this, and then they secretly move their hand over, move the 2 over, and then just like that, it looks like the card is sandwiched in between, just like this. But how I do it, or how I sort of came up with this variation of it, is basically I use a thumb break here, and what I do is I just quickly move the 2 over, and I drop the thumb break right on top as I do it. So I just move it and drop. Boom, right there. And at full speed, and also in performance as well, in real life, it's much harder to detect. Right now, the camera is staring exactly down at my hands, so you can probably see a card being dropped from the deck. Like, you probably saw that in the performance, but trust me, guys, in real life, if you're performing this to a spectator who's, like, in front of you or to the side of you, they will not notice this at all, because the bigger action of you moving the 2 out of the way covers the smaller action of you dropping this card down on top of this 2 right over here. So all you're doing is you're just letting go. You're just going to release pressure with your thumb, and that will allow the card to just sort of fall down just like this. So make sure when you are releasing this card, when you move it over, just make sure to move this 2 like out of the way, kind of far, and do it fast and far away, and that will just kind of cover the action of you dropping that card. And once you drop the card, quickly move your hand away with the deck, because you don't want to hover just like this, and that will make it look like you dropped the card. So just kind of make it look like the card appears there. And how you're going to do this is you're going to move this 2 out of the way, and then drop, and then move your hand out of the way just like this. Boom. That will make it look really cool if you just kind of do like this sort of spreading motion. And now everything's very open. The deck can be completely examined at this point. And now you have 1 card impossibly sandwiched in between the 2s, and it's actually the spectator's freely selected card, which is completely impossible. So yeah, guys, this is a really cool, fun little sandwich trick. So I really hope you guys practice this trick and go out and perform it to your friends and family. And also, happy Mother's Day to all of you guys out there. I hope you have a great day. So see you guys for my next video. Bye.